morning, y'all. Getting tons of hate lately. I love it. I don't love it. It sucks. It feels shitty to be hated on, but hated in this world is loved in the next. So it's important. It's reassuring. That's what it is. It's lets me know that I'm on the right course. A few things on my mind. I don't know if I'll get them all out. Living in my van, first off. People think that it's crazy, right? But I think that you're crazy. See, if the more you're into the system, the more I have to look at you like a fucking insane person, because you're proving that you're insane. And the more convinced you are that you evolved from a monkey, the more I have to think of you like a monkey, because that's actually your mentality that you're striding towards. And so all your reactions are going to be like just emotional and everything that you do, and you're not going to have any reason or logic. Do you remember the movie About Schmidt? Jack Nicklaus said, well, I'm so good with women because I just think of a man and take away all sense of reason and accountability. And, well, when I talk to you people, like people that are really invested into the system, people that say, if you don't vote, you can't complain or whatever, I have to realize that you're insane. You should be in a padded room and locked up. Literally. You should be in an asylum somewheres, getting help for your clinical insanity, by the very definition of the word. There's no arguing about this. This is actual fact. And I know you'd never admit it to yourselves because you're insane. But your whole world is insane. Everything you think and see and do is all backwards, right? And even like telling me to go get a house or whatever. I own my whole life. Everything that I own, I own. I don't have any debts that somebody can come and fucking take away everything that I've worked for. If I miss a tax payment, you're not coming and taking away everything that I fucking own. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not subservient to your government. They don't fucking own me. They own me because they have my serial number, and they could fucking throw me in jail or lock me up in a constitutional camp, like a whatever, like you guys are pushing for. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to go quite opposite. They're going to do a flippy flu here on you soon. I just got to make it through. Anyway, as far as living in the van goes, I've been racking my brain on how to get down to just a book bag. Like, the van's too much. It's all this stuff and all. I'd rather have just a book bag and, with my stuff in it and my bow and arrow and just go for a walk. I've just been trying to get situated so that I can drop down to that level. I'll sell the van and turn it into silver, gold, coins and stuff like that. I'll buy a bunch of silver and gold and bury it or something, whatever, and leave some cash kicking around just in case. If I need to get a hotel room or something like that or whatever, if I need some food, water, but I know how to make water and all that stuff. I can do all that stuff. That's simple. Um, I don't eat fish. That's my biggest problem, I guess. So I don't really know how to cook it either. And something I should get over. I live right on the fucking water. The ocean's right there, the Bay of Fundy, and then the St. John River is like the second biggest river and system in the world, I think, or the third. And it's right there in my backyard. So it's like close to the Amazon. It goes for miles. And anyway, so, and it's full of fish, right full. So I used to fish all the time, just catch and release, but just bass mostly. But I don't eat it, and I was just hurting fish and stuff. I don't know. I'd rather just go boating, and at the time I drank and stuff, so I'd get right loaded. But even now, I'd rather just relax in the boat for the day than deal with all the fishing and the whatever. But anyway, the further I can get from your society, the better I feel. Everything I get rid of, every time I cut back and get away, I feel better, not worse. So, you guys, I don't know, y'all think that I should get back to that. The only thing that I miss a bath. I can say for sure. But really, in the summertime, I go swimming all the time, and so I won't miss it. And yeah, whatever. It's minor. You forget about shit like that. It goes away. And then the other thing about it is hard times make hard men. Soft times make soft men. And most of our society is soft. You guys will brag and go on about being hard and tough and all this shit that you yippity yap about and go get in fist fights or whatever you would think. But you're pretty soft. You know, it comes right down to it. You listen to your government and you pay attention to your rules and you do this and that and you live the way you're told and subservient to your woman usually and just you're soft. Our whole society, we're soft. You know, we all like our bathtubs and our couches and our bed and your PlayStation and your television, your whatever it is, right? Most of you couldn't live without all that stuff, or you'd be really hard pressed. You'd be really uncomfortable and whining and going on. You know, if you get a cold or if you're sick, you're big baby about it and going on like it's the end of the fucking world. You're soft. The society, we're soft. We're all soft. So harden up a little bit. It's good for you. It's part of why I'm doing this. But the big reason is free. I'm free. You guys don't even know freedom. You think you do. You think you're free, but you're really not. You think you're voting, but you're really not. You think you're knowledged and you think you know all this stuff, but you really don't. It's your whole thing is a fucking illusion, right? And you're living in this little bubble. Get your horse blinders on so that you can only see what you're told and what you're shown. And then you think you know the whole universe. You think you got it all figured out. You don't even know the science behind the stuff that you're told that you know. But you know it. You think you know it. Oh, well, somebody knows it. Fuck Stephen Hawking. Or Neil deGrasse Tyson. Or Bill Nye, the science guy. Sorry. That's just funny. But when you actually look behind, like, not Bill Nye stuff, because Bill Nye stuff, he was doing like child science experiments. Don't listen to him when he talks to you about space and things that he doesn't know about. He doesn't know anything about that stuff other than what he was told with his blinders on. Right? That's all he knows. And he's a weasel, and he probably knows a little bit more than that, but he'd never tell you. He'd gladly lie to you for money. You think that, excuse me, you get all this faith in this political system, all this trust for these strangers. Most of you can't trust your neighbors, your friends, your family. I can't trust my family. You expect me to trust those guys who are getting super rich? Like, they're fucking passing people around, not just money. I think it's 80,000 Americans that go missing every year, like kids. Just in America. That's one country. And that's supposed to be the safe country. Like when you think about the lawless countries like Africa and places that, Somalia or whatever. Probably safer there with Somalian pirates being brought up and raised there as a kid than you would be in a Canadian suburb. Probably a lot safer when you consider like child molesters and all that kind of other predator shit, bullies and all that shit that goes on in our society. You're probably much better, more balanced person being raised as a Somalian pirate. Your life's harder. Definitely. You got to go do piracy just to feed. You're risking your very life every single day with a gun and going and threatening to kill other people just to feed yourself and feed your kids. But it's a horrible life. But I mean, they probably have a higher moral standard, more remorse, more respect for life than most inner city people, kids and stuff. More reverence. Probably more real knowledge than a grade 12 graduate with honors. Probably more real knowledge than a university graduate with honors. Time you get to there, your knowledge is so messed and backwards and screwed around and manipulated that you don't have a clue what the world is. You don't even know what you're looking at when you look outside. You're looking at it so backwards, so wrong, that I can say your eyes don't even work. Because you're not processing it in your brain properly. So you might be able to see farther than me without glasses, or pick out an object clearer, but that doesn't mean you can see better than me, because you don't understand what it is that you're looking at. It can be very frustrating to deal with. Disheartening as hell. Especially when coming from like our side, because there's a ton of people that are speaking like me. We're beating our heads against the wall, telling you guys all this stuff and showing you evidence and proof and, you know, like simple scientific experiment and stuff over and over and over again. And yet you'll go to these people that lie to you over and over and over again, and you've proven that they lie to you, and you'll say, no, we got to trust them. They couldn't all be liars. They're not lying this time. They lied about so much stuff that they couldn't possibly be lying about this stuff. And you make up all these retarded things. It's sad. It makes it a sad world to be a part of, or whatever. Except that it's reassuring that the Bible's right. It's been manipulated and screwed with, for sure. But if you investigate it properly and read it, and then find the missing parts and read all them, and the books that refer to it and the books that it refers from, and read all them, everything falls together and makes really good sense. And it's simple and easy to... Not simple, it's very complicated, but I don't know. I don't know how to say that, because it's more complicated in some ways than the way that we're taught in the heliocentric, but it's less complicated than we're, you know, in the heliocentric space and blah, and all this movement and all this stuff going on, and confusion and billions of years and big numbers and all this stuff. That's all just confusing nonsense. It even says in the Bible that there'll be science falsely so called, and that they'll hide in big numbers. They'll hide the truth in big numbers and stuff. And you know, when somebody starts talking like that, billions of years, and using huge words that you don't know and stuff like that, you tend to shut your brain off and just say, okay, well, this guy knows what he's talking about, obviously. Look at the, you know, I'm not going to get into all these numbers. They're overwhelming, and just take their word for it or whatever. It's a mind trick. It's a technique, right? It's a Jedi trick. Think of it that way. You've been Jedi'd right to the nub. From the time you were a little tiny baby, they started doing these Jedi mind tricks on you, and you don't even know which way's up anymore. Literally don't know which way's up anymore, because you could be upside down on a ball. What's up? If you're on a ball, everything's up. Everything's down. Nothing's up and nothing's down. It's all relative. Right? Try not to be insulting, telling you all this, but it's hard not to be a little bit insulting when you're bringing this much hard truth, right? I don't know how to package it to make it easier and whatever. It's something that's going to be hard. The truth's always, or not always, but the truth's hard. Can be real hard. So, something we got to all deal with and move on, move past. But living the lie because it's easy isn't an option anymore. We're being pushed too far. You need to snap out of it. Come into reality and push back. Or stand your ground. You don't have to push back. Stand our ground. Just say no. They do their great reset and delete money. We just can make anything money. We could use fucking acorns for all that matters, to represent the monetary system, right? Money's only convenient because it doesn't go bad. So if you were to, right, you kill your cow or whatever, and you can't eat the whole thing, and you don't want to freeze the whole thing or whatever, or you don't have a freezer, you could actually go feed a bunch of people. They all give you money, and now you can take that money to go and eat other places, right? But it's just a representation. We use paper with pictures on it, right? So we could easily go back to like silver coins and shit like that, or just straight barter, wheat, because it stays good. Wheat doesn't go bad, and you put it into the storage containers or whatever and stick it in the cupboard. It's always useful or whatever, all year round. You can always make bread and food and things with it, and feed animals with it, and keep things alive. Or take some and go trade with it, right? There's your money. Same thing, right? So we just cut them out of our system. When they try to make their great reset so that they can keep their system afloat, because it's crashing, that's why they need it, we just step aside and say, no, this is the new system. You guys aren't a part of it anymore. We don't need you, middlemen. Government, you guys screwed up. You fucked it up. You went too far. We're just going to all have little tiny government town meetings and decide as a town what we'll do and how we're going to move forward as homeowners. And no taxes on our homes or anything like that. We'll figure it out, and we'll all pitch in together if we need to fix a road. We'll all pitch in together if we need to get the roads plowed. Pay the contract for the year. Whatever. But you don't need a middleman. Right? You go to a town hall meeting. We say, okay, this is what we're going to do. You have somebody volunteer to sit at the top or whatever. They call a couple plow companies. This guy's got the best contract quote. You have another town meeting. Say, everybody, does this guy sound good to us? Yep. Give him the money. He does the fucking plowing. If he fucks up, you fire him and grab somebody new the next year. Right? Way better system. Way simpler and better quality for your neighborhood. Right? Your roads are going to be done right away because it's that guy's bread and butter. He needs it done. It's everything. When he wakes up in the morning, he's not extorting the money from you and getting paid no matter what he does. Right? Going to somebody who's already extorted the money from you and got it all for free and doesn't give a fuck about it. Right? Has no idea of what it's even worth because they've never worked. Should be an obligation that all politicians have to work in the private sector before you can work in the political field, at any field, any part of the political spectrum. You should have to work for 10 years or have 3 different jobs before you can ever even go into that field. You should have to go out and earn money, pay bills, and live on your own. Not just have a job for 10 years, not with your parents. Go out and pay your own fucking bills and live for 10 years in the society. Then become a politician. But until then, you shouldn't be allowed to be a politician. You don't understand. You can't comprehend the world. Joe Biden has no idea. He's never ever worked in his life for anything. He doesn't know what money's worth. Justin Trudeau, he doesn't know what money's worth. It's been all given to him his whole life. His dad was rich. He was born rich. He's always been rich. He has no idea what it takes to earn money. He just takes money and spends it or whatever and does whatever he wants, paints himself blackface and goes and does whatever the hell he wants and has no idea about even the products. He thinks water comes in a juice box. Doesn't even know what products exist in the world, but he's the leader of a huge chunk of the free world. It doesn't make any sense how disconnected these people are to be considered leaders. And they're not supposed to be leaders. They're fucking employees that tell us that if we don't pay them, they're going to take your house. But they're your employee. Anyway, so that's the way I got to look at you guys. You're all crazy, and yet you're backwards in the head or whatever. So, anyway, that's why the van thing, I guess that's what I was talking about or something. See ya.